Well, this is the last show.
What? Wait a second. This is it's only the 300th, Trent. What do you mean the last show? I thought we were going to do more shows together. What are you talking about? It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay if I don't like hockey.
Well, what does Taylor Swift say? Shake it off?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no doubt. She also says,
Super Radio Brothers!
It's time for the Super Radio Brothers. I think the one just had an accident.
yes, it was me. Of course it was me. Is there any doubt? Broadcasting for the 300th time from strategic locations throughout the empire. It is the Super Radio Brothers. What's up, Trent?
Hey, man, was the reason you had an accident was simply because it is the 300th episode and you couldn't believe it? So you just had to take care of it all?
It was a celebratory accident. That is true, Trent. You know, I was jumping up and down and you know, you lose balance and you had way too much to drink, and that's how injuries happen.
Yes, it is, as a matter of fact.
And I meant fruit punch when I'm talking about weight. Yeah. You know, you're full and it's hard to move around.
I believe that 100%.
I didn't say there was nothing in the fruit punch. You know what I mean, Trent? It's a celebration.
Oh, yeah. What's it spiked with? We'll find out. If you start spewing out weird stuff, we'll know it's spiked with something.
It's spiked with excitement and enthusiasm because this is the 300th episode of the Super Radio Brothers. Monumental episode. Thank you so much for being with us. And one thing I'll say on that, Trent, is just looking back over the years, I'd probably say maybe closer to 1,000 episodes if I were to count all of the episodes we did up in New York of basically the same show. So, but man, to be down in Florida and keep the tradition of what this show is going and to get to 300 episodes, pretty exciting, and I'm super happy that you're a part of it and everyone listening as well.
It feels nice to be a part of it. Thank you for inviting me back in, how long have I been doing this now? A little over a month
About
or so.
7 years, I think. 7 years Trent's been on the Super Radio Brothers doing this show.
Yeah, I've just been invisible like 6 3/4 of those years.
Well, you didn't talk very much. You know, when you were initially on the show.
Right. No, it's I kid. Of course, it's been very nice to be here, and looking forward to. Hey, man, let's do 300 more. I don't plan on moving out of the state anytime soon, so let's keep doing it.
We want to get back to how your older style of performing, where you spoke less. You know, so we'll talk about that. And I'm getting letters that I wrote to myself that say less Trent Ferguson.
I'm getting letters that said, well, I'm not going to repeat what I was just going to say.
But yeah. I do, Trent, all kidding aside, I do have some big news here.
What's the big news?
It's huge. It's not, I said big news, so I apologize for that. It's not big news. It's huge news.
Okay.
Maybe I'm selling it a little short. It's outrageously huge news. Maybe
okay. Any adjective you can use.
Yeah, sure. So it's really big news as we embark on this 300th episode of the Super Radio Brothers. I am on the verge of a new career, Trent.
Really?
Yeah. I am. I got something new going on, which is pretty amazing if you think about it.
Okay, what's new?
I mean, it's probably. Something that will not shock you because you're aware of my incredible talents. But guess what? I'm starting a new rap group. Hip-hop.
Ooh.
But it's more... Yeah.
What do you call it? Richard and the Carols?
No. It's a duo. It's a duo. It's me and MC Freya. I'm starting a rap group with my dog. And actually, our first single... is getting a ton of traffic on the website. People are loving it. You know, it's the next big thing. So here you go, Super Radio Brothers. This is some serious stuff right now. My new career as a rapper with Freya. This song is called Freya Rap. I really hope you enjoy it.
Mic check, 3, 2, 4, 1. What's up? Yeah, Her name is Freya. All the way, all day. Yo, Freya, break it down.
Man, she got flow. Oh,
Man.
Don't act like you're not impressed, Trent. That's pretty good.
No, I was actually I legit started breaking out laughing. It was pretty funny.
What, laughing? You're not supposed to be laughing. You're supposed to feel, I don't know, inspired artistically, or
Can we get a live rap right now from Freya?
She's got kind of like the prima donna now. Used to get her to rap on whenever I say, hey, start rapping, rap on demand. And now that she's getting a lot of attention online and she's reading all the comments and the positive reaction to her rapping, she won't rap on demand anymore, Trent.
Oh man, I'm sad. Oh man, you got to retrain her to do that. It's kind of like it's great to hear the recording, and she sounded good on the recording, but I want to hear a live version of it.
You know what it is? It's that she's just not down. Like you said, train her. She's like, you can't train me. I'm already the greatest, and it's just that's the attitude that she has now, and
it's kind of like your attitude.
It's
right?
a bit problematic. How dare you, Trent? But maybe you're right. If I were to be honest with myself, maybe I'm a terrible influence on my baby girl. I mean,
I just stopped you. It really says something when I just stop you mid sentence, and that's pretty funny right there.
I feel upset, but anyway, obviously the song is great. Her flow is almost as good as mine. So excellent stuff there. So I hope you enjoyed that, and look for more from our rap duo MCRC3 with Freya D on Super
I like that.
Radio
You should
Buzz.
create a social media page.
Oh yeah, dude. I think the internet already broke because it's so big. So
I know it's so big. It went so viral.
It's huge. It's viral. Yeah, that's right. It's making people sick, Trent. That's how it's so viral. There you go. Gotta love that toilet. That's basically a tremendous metaphor for life right there. Down the drain. No, I'm kidding. That's dark. It's not cool. That's not cool, Trent. Don't say things like that. Yes, from this hell we call Earth, it is the news, and we are excited to bring the poop news to you. As you know, Trent, that's usually our lead story because sometimes you get some very important information from poop news.
Okay.
I think you agree at this point that.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say it's pretty neat. It's it really starts our debate on the right foot.
Here's what it is, Trent. Here's what it is. It's underreported. Is what.
Okay,
it is.
I'll take it.
The mainstream media is not giving you enough poop. So
no,
think
they never do.
Yeah, I mean, do you hear? Hello, this is Tom Brokaw here, and tonight that guy took a mean shit. We're gonna go on location.
Good evening. I'm Lester Holt reporting, and next thing you know, we come to the biggest shitty story I have ever met in my life.
This is Lester Holt, and a sewer line exploded in New York City, spreading shit everywhere. We're going to go on. Yes. They should have more of that in the news because it happens,
That is a big pile of shit.
Yeah, So speaking of which, this is speaking of underreported, this is huge news. Did you hear about a smart toilet, Trent? We know about smartphones. How about smart toilets?
I think there's going to be a smart everything at one point. No, I've never heard of a smart toilet.
Everything's smart, right? That's a good point. If there's one thing, here's a good question, Trent. If there's one thing, like here's a smart toilet, you got a smartphone. If there's one thing that's not smart yet, what would be the next cool smart thing for Trent?
Man.
It's a good question, right? It's a good question.
Yeah, that is. Yep. That's a great question. I don't know. I honestly don't know the answer.
How about
to that
this?
question.
Smart speakers. Oh, wait, they have that. Never mind. No, I got it. Smart sneakers. How about that? Think about the smart sneakers. And you could add air into your sneakers by saying, hey, make my sneakers tighter. Tie my sneakers. I'm not sure how it would work, but there are different things that would work out there. Or a smart hat. For a while they were talking about smart glasses, like people could have glasses and check out the internet. Nobody even knows. So, yeah, they were Google glasses, I think. You heard of the Google glasses, Trent?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, absolutely.
So, they have I would say smart sneakers. That's the only thing I could think of because they already have a smart watch. Maybe a smart ring. But they kind of have that too. I think I saw they were coming out with a ring that you put it on and it records your vitals and everything. It kind of like how an Apple Watch does. That's the thing too. It's if you look at it, all of these smart things do the same thing, right? Whether it's your smart TV, your smartphone, your smartwatch, what do they all do? You can go online with them, right? Answer a call. Yay.
Yes.
What is and that's exactly what this smart toilet does. Is it lets you go online and no, that's not it. The smart toilet, Trent.
Hey,
actually,
you know what's funny though, Rich, and I'm just pulling the curtain back here. A lot of people, like men, especially men in my family. I'm not trying to say that all men do this, but I'm saying that there are a lot of people that actually go online while they're on the toilet, but they use their smartphone in order to do that.
That's why people say the phone is the dirtiest, most horrible thing ever, right? Is because everybody takes the phone to the toilet with them. You do it. Everybody does it.
Everybody does that.
And
that's normal.
And then what happens, Trent, we talked about on this show, is the aerosol effect. Are you familiar with the aerosol effect?
I've heard of it, but refresh my memory.
Let me help you out here. This is going to be huge information for you and the listener, Trent, okay? This is very important. The aerosol effect, okay? You're in the bathroom. You took a mean one, right? You flush, and you left the lid open. So now all those particles flying up into the air all over the place, everywhere, the aerosol effect. So put the lid down. You're welcome. You're welcome. Very important information there. And that's what the smart toilet does. It closes the lid for you. No, that's not it either. The smart toilet, Trent, can detect disease by collecting data from the urine and feces of a user, developed by scientists in the U.S. How about that? It's like having the Curiosity Mars rover in your bathroom. It's pretty incredible if you think about it. That's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Can you imagine? Let me ask you this: can you imagine if you take a shit and then it turns out that shit saved your life, and you could tell people that? Oh boy, that shit I took last Saturday, it actually literally saved my life. Can you imagine? You could say that shit. I wish I had taken a picture because that saved my life. You could show that picture to everybody. That piece of shit right there saved my life, gave me a second chance.
Oh, yeah. Well, of course, you got to.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So maybe, just maybe, the smart toilet is the best smart something ever created.
Yeah, think about it though. There's so many. There's have you heard of the smart speaker? I would think you would have.
I created it like about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, okay. Just ask you. So you can ask, Rich, the smart speaker. Just say, hey, play 95 so and so WDAE.
Oh yeah, I do that. There's no doubt. I would. It's crazy. I just feel like you have Amazon Alexa or any of these things, and they always send you emails. Try this with your Alexa. Try that with your Alexa. And the only thing I ever do is...
Hey, don't say the keyword too loud. If you have your Amazon device right near you, it just came on.
I'm hoping that Alexa listens to our show. That's what I'm hoping about. But you say all these things, but ultimately, when it comes down to it, for me, it's like, what's the weather outside? Play this song. You know what I mean? What else can I do with the thing? I need real AI. I need a machine that, if I piss it off, will murder me. That's what I need, Trent.
Be careful what you wish for.
That's what I want. That would be interesting. You know, I want the machine to love me.
I'm
not talking about unconditional love. I'm talking about fatal attraction. It's all over love if you mess with me. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, definitely. For sure. I totally get it. Yep.
There you go. So that's the world in poop this week, Trent.
Okay. Well, now we move from the poop to, this could be on the same topic if you want to put it this way. A robber wore boxer shorts as disguise. Can you believe that, Rich?
I can. I've done it before. It's a great disguise. Is
there video of it?
Yeah. Let's get that online right away.
Yeah, I want to see it. Yeah. So a guy walked into a convenience store in the UK armed with a kitchen knife. For a disguise, he chose something convenient to walk into a convenience store. Ha ha ha! What a play on words. A pair of boxer shorts over his face. For viewing purposes, he peered through one of the leg holes. The burglary was foiled when the clerk hopped over the counter and knocked the thief over the head with a display sign, causing the boxer shorts to slip down and expose his face to security video.
Not a good superhero. You got to secure the mask a little better. Keep that identity safe.
Mm-hmm. And he was ultimately arrested, but his charges are not listed. So obviously, I would think robbery would definitely be a charge. But I don't know what robbery and it wouldn't be indecent exposure because he exposed his face. So I mean,
his underwear exposed his face. But I don't know. Is being an idiot a crime? Is that possible? Or get a legitimate mask. You don't want to use boxer shorts as a mask. I bet you know what, though, now that I think about it, during the COVID era, there's no doubt that some people have used boxer shorts as a mask.
You read my mind, because I was going to ask you, whenever COVID first started, everybody was saying, oh, let's buy masks, and they didn't have the N95s right away, so you had to kind of be innovative and create your own. And somebody wore a bandana on their face, somebody wore certain things, somebody it was interesting.
Yeah.
So but yeah, it's whatever. So I got you. But we'll do what we can. So anyway.
Yeah, definitely. A lot going on in the world, and there are a lot of different jobs, and there are a lot of dirty jobs, people doing dirty things. Well, sometimes what we consider to be dirty may be different. How's this for it? Because if I say dirty job, Trent, what do you think of?
Being around you.
Oh, wow. Tell me what you really think. That's a dirty job. You're right, Trent.
No, I'm talking about like cleaning toilets would be a dirty job. Like, yes, literally.
Yes. Would that be second to working with me, or does it like pull in front?
I plead the fifth.
But yes, that's what you think, right? Cleaning a toilet, or like a garbage man, stuff like that. You got to deal with literally dirt, right? Well,
oh yeah.
In Australia, Queensland's Bill Edgar is known to some as the coffin confessor. What is the coffin confessor? Edgar, he shows up at funerals and speaks for the deceased, giving them a voice from the afterlife in this world, telling off family members, setting friends straight, and delivering bad news about beneficiaries. I guess that's a dirty job. But Edgar's job doesn't stop there. His services, for which he charges, maybe I'm in the wrong business, $2,000 to $10,000 a job, have expanded to removing items from the deceased's home that they'd rather the family not see. Could be sex toys, messages of hate, love, whatever it is they've written down that they don't want anyone to know. They want stuff removed from their web browsers. One gentleman had a sex dungeon in one of his bedrooms, and that dude was 88 years old.
88 years old.
88-year-old dude had a sex dungeon. And this dude, Bill Edgar, was hired to get rid of it once he passed away. He's like, dude, you gotta get rid of the sex dungeon when I die, okay? And here's 10 grand. This is his job. He also, by the way, it doesn't just he's not just in Australia. He delivers his services in the United States and the UK. And it seems that right now that Paramount Pictures has picked up the story for a movie. So this dude is huge. Can you now that's a dirty job, Trent.
Oh, absolutely. That's the dirtiest you can get, in my opinion. That's a dirty job. You know the song says something about like dirty laundry or something. It's like a 70s song or in the 80s. Yeah, it's crazy.
Everybody's sitting there crying in the cathedral. And he's like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, let me just tell Darlene, your husband Fred, he knows you loved him very much, but he wants you to know he hated your effing guts. He thinks you're a piece of shit, and you never, ever, ever closed the fridge at nighttime. Everything got ruined. You know, imagine having to deliver that kind of message. You know, you go through all the grievances, right? I guess the women, you left the toilet seat up. I hate you. You smell. You know, these are the messages that he has to relay to the living. So, I guess a lot of people out there, you know, there are things that you'd like to say to people while you're on this earth, but you just don't have what it takes to actually say it to them, or you don't want to hurt people's feelings. So you hire this guy to do it after you're dead. Pretty wild. What a job. That's a dirty job.
That's a dirty job. Well, this is not so dirty, but are you a bread person, Rich? Do you like to eat bread?
I love bread.
Oh man, I love bread. You got to have some butter with it too, right? I would hope.
Oh yeah, you have all sorts of things with bread. You could have some butter. You could have some mayonnaise. You could have. I don't know why I'm what that voice is, but when I think about bread, I gotta talk like that. You gotta have. You gotta have butter. You gotta have mayonnaise. You gotta have mustard. And
mustard. Okay, I've never heard it said like that.
You gotta have mustard. You gotta have chicken.
Chicken. Oh, okay.
Chicken goes pretty good with some bread.
Chicken. You know, you put bread even put butter on the bread of your chicken sandwich. I mean, that tastes good.
Oh yeah. What doesn't taste good in a chicken sandwich? You know, I could probably. Hey, we're talking about. I could probably have some fingernails in my chicken sandwich. Remember that last week with the fingernails and it'll still taste good because it's a chicken sandwich. It's so good.
Man, as long as you can taste the chicken, that's all that matters.
And as long as I didn't know that there were fingernails in my chicken sandwich.
Yeah. So apparently in Brazil, thieves stole bread from a Brazilian shop and they were arrested. And the reason they were arrested is because they went back for butter. They took bread, milk, drinks, biscuits, chocolate, and about $20 from the shop worth of stuff.
Wow.
Okay. And the men returned 5 minutes later, only to find out to be arrested by police who had been called into the meantime. Police say the suspects said that they went back because they had forgotten to steal butter, and they actually admitted that to authorities.
The bread wasn't enough. All this, you need it. You know, at that point, Trent, when you got all of that stuff, don't you think you just go to the store and buy some butter? That's getting greedy. You know, you got away already. Maybe buy the butter, you know?
Yeah, I would. Absolutely. Buy the butter and, you know, enjoy. But you got to have, like, whenever I eat bread, you can't have the margarine and stuff, man. Like, I like to have the actual butter. I like to have I want the real stuff. I know they say that the margarine's better for you and everything, but
who cares about that? You got to have real butter.
Yeah, you do.
I don't care about if it's good for me. What does that do for me? Nothing.
I mean, it keeps you alive, but, you know, yeah.
I'm doing just fine.
Okay, I'm glad to hear you're doing just fine.
I'm on the show, aren't I? Give me a break, margarine.
I'm curious as to see what that drink was spiked with now, because we're 20 minutes into the show and we're talking about all this.
Yeah.
Oh man.
How about this kid in the Netherlands, Trent?
Netherlands.
He stole his mom's car and he crashed into a bunch of other cars, And oh yeah, he's 4 years old. So
What?
A 4-year-old stole his mom's car and crashed into 2 parked cars and was found alone by a bystander walking around in his pajamas. His PJ. Are you a pajama guy or a PJ guy, Trent?
Pajamas.
Yeah,
I'm not a PJ.
Yeah, you gotta be a pajamas. It's walking. The kid was walking around in his pajamas and
I don't
bare
like
feet.
I don't like the saying PJs.
Yeah.
It just sounds weird.
No, only losers say PJ. The child had taken his mother's car keys to go for a drive after he had woken up on Saturday when his father went to work, according to police, and ended up. I mean, how does a 4-year-old even accomplish that? I don't know. So I got to ask you this, Trent. What was can you imagine? I wonder if he remembers that when he gets older. You know, who knows what this kid's going to do in his life, but that might be the worst thing he ever does.
Right.
You know, so Trent, what was the worst thing you did when you were 4?
I don't remember whenever I was 4. I honestly don't. Oh, you know what it probably was? I used to, whenever I was a child, I used to get really mad, and I would throw like toys that I had. I would toss them on the floor. I would also kind of throw things at my grandparents' head, even though I couldn't see their head. But like legit, I would try to like aim for their head if I knew exactly where they were. And yeah, like it would just, I felt bad that I did that whenever I was a kid. But like when you're 4, dude, you don't know any better.
Yeah. No, you don't. I mean, I don't think at 4, you know, the concept of death, right? Like I could kill my grandparents right now if I strike them with this rock or whatever it is I'm throwing at their head, this controller. You know, I'm not thinking that I can harm them. You know, actually,
Dude, my sister threw a baseball at my head one time.
Wow, that's pretty serious.
Yep.
Did she missed?
No.
Oh, she got you.
What's that?
Did she hit you with the ball?
Yeah, she did.
Ouch.
She did.
Right in the head?
Yeah, right in the head. It hurt. It hurt big time. But we were sitting next to each other in the car, so she didn't have to throw it too far.
Explains a couple of things, but man, wow, that's something. So you got hit in the head by your sister with a baseball.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Ouch. How long did it take you to forgive her for that?
Oh man, I don't know. It just.
And here's the question that I would say 75% of the audience is asking right now. What did you do?
I don't know what I did. I have no idea. Obviously, I ticked her off.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's fairly obvious, you know, that I made her mad at some point. You know, I said something to her, and she said this, and she's like, oh my gosh, you know, it's crazy. So
Yikes.
You know, but my sister was only like 5 at the time too, so it you know.
Yeah, she can't be charged as an adult at 5, so she, you know.
You can't be charged as an adult even if you're 12. So just keep that in mind.
Well, I vividly remember
16 and older, it's debatable.
Yes. I vividly remember, Trent, the worst thing I did when I was 4. I held up a convenience store with a Glock 9 handgun, and yeah.
Kidding me?
Yeah, when I was 4 years old.
You actually did that?
Yeah, that's it's on the record. You know, 4 years old, armed robbery. What can I tell you?
How old is it? How long ago was that? Was that like in 1950 something? Or?
Yeah, I'm a time traveler. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No. I think
I'm trying to figure out where I can look up this story, see if you made the news.
Yeah. No, one of the best jokes about that was Dave Chappelle. And we'll get little bit.
He's under fire right now.
Yeah, we'll get a little bit with him in the rundown. But you know, one of his earlier comedy specials, he had this joke about being in a limo, but he was in the hood, and his friend went into a building, and it was like 3 a.m, and he saw like a 3 or 4 year old out on the street selling weed. It was pretty funny routine. So if you like Dave Chappelle, go back and check. But that's one of his funnier bits. That's really funny. Yeah, so there you go. That's what happened, Trent. The kid crashed his mom's car. That's like I said, could quite literally be the worst thing that dude ever does in his life. So, what else you got?
Okay. What else do I have? Let's see. I did the bread story. My recorder, my thing that I take my stories down with just turned off. I apologize.
How dare they? All right. I got something else for you here. How about this? Las Vegas police, Trent. Yeah, you want to talk about a cold case? They found a body in a barrel at the bottle of Lake Mead. The person was shot, and they were wearing clothes that date back to the 70s. How about that? The victim is believed to be a man, suspected to have been murdered in the late 70s or early 80s, investigators said. Boaters discovered the body around 3 o'clock this past Sunday afternoon. Photos shared with the team showed what looked like skeletal remains in the barrel, looked to have been stuck in the mud at the bottom of the lake. So a lot of things are, now that the lake is losing water because of it's eroding, they're finding a lot of things. Lake's not too far from the Hoover Dam, but they're making a lot of discoveries. Recently, a water intake pipe was visible as the lake continues to drop, but the coroner's office has yet to identify the remains. But think about that. That's pretty eerie. You find a barrel at the bottom of a lake with a body that's been dead for close to 40 years. That's pretty wild. That's man. And then they found out that the person wasn't even dead, which was even more confusing.
Oh yeah, man, that's great. So
you just accept anything the news tells you, Trent. That was obviously a lie at the end of this. I was just testing you, but you just went with it. You got to.
I didn't know what to say.
You have to question the mainstream news, Trent. It's not.
I know.
Yeah, be careful.
I question you all the time.
If someone tells you that a dude that's been dead for 40 years is alive, it's probably not good information.
No, I would guess not. But anyway, after hiring 200 fake guests, a groom and I'm sorry, I missed the first part of the headline. My bad. Well, dumb me. What am I doing?
Don't say that.
Here's a headline here. A groom is detained after hiring 200 fake guests at his wedding.
Wow. Why would you be detained? Is that illegal to have fake wedding guests?
According to this story.
You see, you're accepting this stuff too easily, Trent.
Yeah. A groom in China couldn't convince his parents and friends that his bride-to-be was the right woman for him. So when they refused to come to the wedding, the groom hired 200 fake guests to fill his side of the ceremony venue. And I wish the story would give me more information. That's all it really has. But I would like to know how that turned out. I wish there was like video of that, and I would like to know how how that turned out. To begin with, that's I've never heard that before.
Wow. Well, Trent, you've heard that sex sells, right? And it's super true.
Yes.
Sex sells. It's true. How about real estate? You know, real estate, sex sells real estate, but apparently this is a new trend going on. And a real estate listing in Wisconsin is going viral on social media thanks to a risky sign that hangs above the headboard in one of the bedrooms. The sign declares that the area is Pound Town.
Okay.
The real estate agent said when he originally listed it, he's like, I didn't notice it really, and they just put that up in on their website, Trent. It's literally a bedroom with a big sign that says "Welcome to Pound Town." So it doesn't say if they were able to sell the house though. So I don't know, maybe it helped them out there. But that is shameful. Shameful, I tell you.
That is extremely shameful. Well, this is actually kind of a feel-good story.
Oh, I like to feel good.
This is a feel-good story. A German police officer delivers pizza after a courier crashes car. German police came to the aid of a pizza delivery man who crashed his car. After dealing with the accident, the officers delivered the pizza to the home where they were ordered. And so you got to give a shout out to the officers who did that. You know, that's pretty.
Yeah, that's a good story. I saw that story, and you know, that's a pretty good job by those officers for sure. You gotta give them credit.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a pizza delivery guy got in a wreck, you know, you would think, hey man, I want pizza, so you got to.
I heard it's not the same story, but it was a similar story a couple of weeks ago, Trent. But in this story, it was an Uber Eats person that had to deliver the dinner, whatever it is, but he was also a criminal.
Oh, no.
On his way to deliver dinner, he got pulled over and arrested. So the cops, they finished his Uber Eats delivery. So, hey, you know, sometimes the show must go on, right? You gotta get the food where it's going. If not, it's gonna be wasted, and that's not cool. You don't want to waste.
It's kind of like this show. This show must go on.
Yeah, the show must go on no matter what. The show.
And that's the final news story, at least for me, on mine. But I want to hear what other stuff you have.
Well, you know, I'm actually looking on the listings for Pound Town here. No, I'm just kidding. Come check out our house, 57 Delamore Lane, and welcome to Pound Town.
Welcome to Pound Town.
Yeah. Are you trying to make babies? This is where you want to live. Give me a call.
Give me a
Saul
call.
Goodman, real estate agent. No, better call Saul. That's been a great show too. We'll get into that a little bit here on the Couch Report, of course, and not to mention that sports are coming up as well. We got some sports news, don't we, Trent? I think we've got some sports news. He's like,
stuff I'm hesitant to report on is the Yankees and the fact they're doing so well right now.
Oh yeah. I've got some Yankee video up there as well on Super Radio Brother Highlights. Please go check it out.
To avoid it.
You want anything to do with it?
No.
It's like, I don't want to hear anything about the Yankees doing good. Well, you're going to hear a lot about that coming up in our sports segment. But first,
it'll give me time to go to the bathroom.
Super Radio Rundown.
Yeah, Super Radio Rundown. Man, a lot of movies coming out, of course. Doctor Strange coming out on Friday this weekend. Very exciting multiverse. Are you gonna? I'm gonna be there. I think I saw it already, Trent.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah, in my mind's eye, I have seen it and I know it's good. So already, I don't think there's a Rotten Tomatoes out yet, but on Super Radio Brothers Rotten Fried Apples or something, whatever we create, it's certified fresh. So, but yeah, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is coming out this weekend. They're saying the MCU unlocks the multiverse and pushes its boundaries further than ever before. Journey into the unknown with Doctor Strange, who, with the help of mystical allies, both old and new, traverse the mind-bending and dangerous alternate realities of the multiverse to confront a mysterious new adversary. So, and of course it's Mephisto. We all know that. It's Mephisto. I don't know if it's Mephisto, but that's kind of been the joke, Trent, all the way back to WandaVision. Every Marvel fan is saying it's Mephisto. That's the bad guy. That's what. So one of these days it's going to be Mephisto for sure. So we'll see. Other movies here coming out in May, of course, Top Gun, Maverick. Have you ever seen Top Gun, the original movie, Trent? Do you know Top Gun?
Do I know Top Gun?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh,
how could I not? Starring
Tom Cruise and Val. I think they're both back. I think Tom Cruise, Val Kilmer in this movie.
Yeah, I heard that Tom Cruise was back. That's for sure.
Of course, Tom Cruise, the guy, he's in everything. He doesn't age. But yeah, Pete Maverick Mitchell has been serving for over 30 years. We know who he is. He finds out the well-performed student he's training is actually his late friend's son. I think maybe his late friend is Val Kilmer. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
So Maverick has to push himself to confront his dreadful past while juggling with a lethal mission. This movie sounds awful, but hey, it's Top Gun, and let's be honest, Trent, everything, absolutely everything that Tom Cruise does is amazing. So
yeah, I mean, but is everything that everybody does is amazing? I mean, like, does that mean that you
only
cannot
Tom Cruise? He can't do
only
any
Tom
wrong.
Cruise.
Yeah, he can't do anything wrong. Yeah, we can't hope to be on that level. But
How many things have you done wrong?
a lot of things. I mentioned 4 years old a little earlier, so let's just go back to that, okay?
Okay.
Other movies coming out this month. They're actually doing a remake of the movie Firestarter from the 80s, which was based on a Stephen King book. Stephen King movies and shows based on Stephen King really making a comeback here. There was a time in the 90s where it was huge to do Stephen King stuff, and it seems like that's coming back. We recently had, I think it was Apple TV with The Stand and a lot of other cool things coming out here. So yeah, there have been I can't remember the other one. There was another with Julianne Moore, another Stephen King book that they made recently on, I believe it was Apple TV. But there have been a couple of things. So now they're doing Firestarter again. That actually starred, I don't know if you know this, Trent, but you know Drew Barrymore?
Yes, I do.
When she was a child, she was the main antagonist of the original Firestarter movie. I mean, like a little girl, you know. So it's back. That's going to come out. Couple of other movies here. The Twin looks like a pretty interesting horror movie. So just things to look at. Here's an interesting question, Trent. I think, Trent, we talked about Serial a week or two ago.
Oh, yeah. We talked about Lucky Charms and how they're going, like, didn't they have something bad happen to them?
That's right. Like millions of people have died or something like that, I think was the story. I think people were getting sick, though. People were definitely getting sick off Lucky Charms, and there were complaints. And anyway, but hey, this past week we had, I think it was National Orange Juice Day. It was on May 4th. Did you celebrate?
I did.
You did?
I did.
How did you celebrate National Orange Juice Day?
I drank some orange juice first thing yesterday morning.
That's how I celebrated too. How else can you celebrate National Orange Juice Day? It's true.
I don't know.
I guess you could throw an orange at someone, and you'll get away with it. Like if someone pisses you off, peg them with an orange and say, "Dude, calm down. It's National Orange Juice Day." So,
yeah.
And then you'll get can you imagine that? The cop pulls you over because you were speeding, and you throw an orange at him, and you say, "Dude, don't give me a ticket. It's National Orange Juice Day." So it might be, but I bring it up because this was cool, man. Have you ever thought about using orange juice over milk in your cereal?
Oh my gosh.
What does that mean? Have you done it?
No, I haven't.
Does it sound horrible or intriguing to you?
It's not intriguing. That's for sure.
Not intriguing. So that's not necessarily horrible. So we're leaving the door open here a little bit. Good. Because guess what? Tropicana creates their first cereal made for OJ. How about that?
OJ.
And it's called, of course it would be called this. If you thought it would be named anything else, you're a fool. Trent?
Yep.
It's Tropicana Crunch.
Have you heard of like Tropicana Pure Premium? Have you ever drank any of that?
Oh, yeah. Good stuff. That's good stuff, man. Are you a pulp guy or a no pulp guy?
I am a no pulp guy.
See, I gotta have so much pulp in there that it's almost not a drink anymore. You know what I mean? Like I'm chewing.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
No, I can't.
I gotta chew my orange juice. It's very important.
That's nasty, man. I can't stand it.
So yeah, Tropicana Crunch, and we immediately, Trent, tried to see if we could get this, but it was sold out everywhere. So we're not the only ones intrigued by this. It's called the first ever breakfast cereal created to pair with Here you go. The first ever breakfast cereal created to pair with Tropicana Pure Premium. So you can sip your sunshine and eat it too.
Sip your sunshine. Hey, they show those commercials a lot of times whenever you're watching. Do you watch? I don't know how many Rays games you watch. Probably not many, just because you're not a fan. Number one.
How many times do they play the Yankees?
Yeah, anytime they play the Yankees, you watch them.
I would say 19 times right now is the number. So I see the Rays 19 times a year, Trent.
Okay. Well, you should know them very well then.
That's true. That's true. But I and think about the marketing. That's as good a slogan as you're ever going to come up with. So you can sip your sunshine and eat it too. That's pretty good. And how about this? The cereal box, it comes with a paper sipping straw. So you can slurp any remaining OJ in the bowl.
Oh, man.
Now, what is Tropicana Crunch? By the way, there's a website, tropicanacrunch.com. After testing multiple flavors and textures, the company opted for a granola-based cereal featuring honey almond clusters that can withstand the acidity in OJ better than flakes, which would go soggy more quickly, and we all know how disastrous that can be. So,
wow.
And the honey almond flavor was chosen to balance against the orange juice's tartness.
Okay.
I am fascinated, dude. Like, I need this. I need to try Tropicana Crunch. So if you're listening and you got a couple of boxes, maybe you hoarded some Tropicana Crunch because you can't get any anywhere. How about send me a box, huh? How about you send me a box? I'd appreciate it. Trent, you got any Tropicana Crunch in your crib?
Nope.
Oh, well,
I need to go get some now, though.
Yeah, if you find some, send me a box. You know what I'm saying? Just send me a box, man. That's not a lot of food news this week, Trent. I know you dig this. I like donuts. Do you like donuts?
I love donuts.
Who doesn't love donuts? What's your go-to donut? What do you love?
Oh gosh. I love
donut.
I love glazed. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's me. That's my top. Gotta be glazed. I
love glazed. I don't like the chocolate. Like the chocolates. It tastes okay. But I
can do chocolate donut. You know what? I'm not a jelly donut guy. I'm not into that. I'm not into a jelly donut. I'm not into that.
You don't like the jelly donuts?
Okay. I don't like that. I'm not into a jelly donut. It's not good to me. You down with the jelly donut?
No.
Yeah.
No. I like the glaze. I don't know about you, but I love Krispy Kreme donuts, and we don't have a Krispy Kreme down here where I live. But whenever we go out of town and go on vacations and things like that, when the light is on at a Krispy Kreme, I am running in there and I am getting me some good, fresh donuts. Oh my God, my mouth is watering.
I'll tell you what. Back in the day when I was in New York and Krispy Kreme was at the height of
flood my microphone with saliva. My mouth is watering.
Yes. When Krispy Kreme was at the height of their powers, 15, 20 years ago, and I used to hang out in Manhattan. There was a Krispy Kreme shop right there in Greenwich Village, and you basically would see each individual donut on the line going through, getting baked, and coming out fresh. Like you'd see the steam coming off the donut. It was so fresh, and you would eat it hot. And that is the greatest donut. Now you could buy some Krispy Kreme in the supermarket. I've been to a shop in Daytona Beach. Nothing like that Krispy Kreme was in Manhattan, where they serve them things hot. It was addictive. It was one of the most amazing things I've ever eaten in my life, and no one's ever really replicated that. And that place was so amazing, it went out of business because eventually, for whatever reason, Krispy Kreme wasn't what it was anymore. And but at that time, everybody was about some Krispy Kreme donuts. I mean, you want to talk about shitting? Dunkin' Donuts was shitting in their pants. and so was I because there was a lot of donuts. So I'm just saying,
Yeah.
You did say it was dirty to work with me, so.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I bring up the donuts and Dunkin' Donuts because Dunkin' has added a new donut. Would you be into this, Trent? Dunkin' has added cornbread donuts to the menu. Cornbread. Now, if you go to the barbecue joint and you got your choice between the garlic bread and the cornbread, where you going, Trent?
Oh man, I love garlic bread. I love garlic bread so bad. I like Sonny's. Whenever they have the cornbread, garlic bread, I always eat garlic bread with my ribs. Whenever I eat ribs at Sonny's, I always like ribs and get some fries. Believe it or not, Rich, before the show, it's amazing we're talking about Sonny's because that's what I ate tonight.
Wow, lucky you.
Ate some ribs.
It's always a good night when you get some Sonny's. That's true.
Oh, and they weren't just ribs, Rich. They weren't just baby backs.
Oh.
They were St. Louis ribs. St. Louis style.
Oh, you went with the St. Louis. Yeah, I love the St. Louis, the baby. Yeah, see, me I go cornbread. So I go cornbread with the ribs for sure. But I love me some garlic bread. What's that?
Cornbread?
Oh, yeah, I go cornbread. And that's
like
how I say it.
corn.
I get there and I'm like, yeah, let me get a baby back ribs, some corn, some Pepsi. Yeah, I'll do the mac and cheese, and also I'll take the cornbread because that's how you gotta say it.
Yeah.
Cornbread. So Dunkin' Donut adds cornbread to the menu. So I wonder what that's gonna be like. Can you have a glazed cornbread donut? It seems like that would be weird.
Yep. I love cornbread. I love corn and garlic bread, but I like garlic bread better with my barbecue.
I like it too. 100%. Trent, do you know what a love bug is?
How would I not?
You live in Florida, right? We're there's nothing but love bugs down here, especially when you have the love bug season, right?
Uh-huh.
And apparently, and I didn't think about this until I saw this article, but there haven't been a lot of love bugs around this year. And
come down to Central Florida.
Really?
Oh man, they're bad.
Is it really bad? Because I've been around years where it's been really bad, and at least over here, I mean, I don't know if I've seen one or two love bugs the whole year. That's a lot because I have seen 0 love bugs.
You've seen 0?
0. No, maybe one or two. Not 0.
When my parents and I went or when my mom and a couple of friends and I went to the Tampa Bay Rays game back on April 24th, that her car was flooded with love bugs. It was just amazing to see all the love bugs on her car and seeing it it filled. They filled it, and it was. It took them. She had to wash her car, and that's what you have to do whenever you go through love bugs. It's bad.
Oh yeah, it's really bad for the car, and it messes up paint.
Yeah,
but I guess this article isn't for you then, Trent. It says it's labeled Floridians. Here's why you didn't see many love bugs this year. So but you're saying this is all bullshit. You got love bugs.
I didn't say it like that, but I mean, yeah.
I heard, that's what I literally heard. Oh, so you didn't? I thought you said, Rich, this article is bullshit. You're a dummy for reading it, and all. You didn't say any of that.
I mean, I'm not disputing you by any means, but
as you know, Trent, in Central Florida here, these love bugs, they don't bite, sting, or spread disease. They just make love. You kind of see them floating around and they're stuck to each other. That's what they're doing. They're making love. And what happens is while they're making love, they get splattered all across your car because you drive right through them like we were just talking about.
That's not gross at all.
No. Well, what a way to go. But well, I'm just saying it's not all bad.
Okay.
These pests typically come out in droves and cover everything twice a year in Florida. This year, however, for most of Central Florida, love bug season was extremely light. According to a doctor from the University of Florida, the frequency and amount of rainfall is likely a factor in determining the amount of love bugs each season. If the habitat is too wet, they drown. If the environment is too dry, the larvae dries up. Apparently, this year, we've had a below normal amount of rainfall. Do you buy it?
I buy it.
Yeah, it hasn't rained that much, right? It's not happening. So that's why, not Trent. Trent, he's got, you want to talk about, he has an infestation. Like, they're all in your house, right? The love bugs, like, they're everywhere.
Yep.
They're an invasive species.
Yes, they are.
Trent's dealing with it, but most of Central Florida, it's not happening. It's all good. So we also got this here in Florida, the Florida Film Festival.
Oh, yeah.
And they've actually added a debate. This could have been video game news. We'll do it here in the rundown. They've actually added a virtual film screening to their program. So you could actually use virtual reality as a new media component to access their content at the Florida Film Festival. So,
do you like going to the Florida Film Festival?
I have not gone, but I dig film festivals. I like film, so if I ever got a chance, I would definitely like to check that out. But it's pretty much a new thing. Tim Anderson, Florida Film Festival's programming coordinator, said in a news release that the pandemic has afforded us an opportunity to utilize online streaming services and expand our offerings. And we think it's a natural fit to showcase this broad range of new voices through the very medium that these projects were created for. And they're being created for VR. So I thought that was pretty interesting to bring up here. Here's a film festival that before the pandemic, you mostly had to show up in person to enjoy. And now, hey, let me put on my VR headset and enjoy the Florida Film Festival. How about that?
How about it?
I think it's cool. Trent thinks it's uncool and it sucks, but I think it's cool. So if there
wow, it's amazing how many words you actually put in my mouth, man.
There was like 5 there at least, like four or 5.
Video game, yeah. Video game, yeah.
I just assumed that you don't like it. That's you didn't. You're
video
like,
game. I love that intro.
Yeah, I love that. It's the voice of an angel, Trent. Voice of an angel.
I love making fun of it too.
Nintendo Switch, which is that's where I get to play my Legend of Zelda. Can't wait for the sequel to the Breath of the Wild. Nintendo Switch shortages are set to cause a 10% decrease in sales. I'll give you a moment, Trent. Don't be too upset about that. I know you're about to break down, maybe some tears. So maybe a moment of silence for the.
I'm silent because I'm crying so hard.
the shortage of. Hey, it's okay. What can you say? All I can say is, it's okay. We'll all get over it. It'll be fine.
It's okay to not be okay.
Oh, I know that song. It's okay not to be okay. That's a good song, Trent. That's a good. You are a man of music. It's impressive.
I'm a poet and I didn't even know it, bruh.
Yeah. Whoa. Did you just make that up just now? That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Unlike your face.
Oh. You got jokes, yo. You got jokes.
I always do.
Yeah. This is a funny guy. If you didn't know already by now, this is a funny guy. To this date, Trent, both the Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch OLED, which I guess is better, has a bigger screen, have been relatively easy to get your hands on, unlike PS5, new Xbox. But with a quick internet search, you're usually guaranteed to see several retailers stocking the consoles, but sales are soon to be affected now by a shortage of semiconductors. It's really the bane of the industry right now. Nintendo is expecting to ship 20 million Nintendo Switch consoles this year, and that's a 10% decrease from 2021 and a 30% decrease on 2020. So that year saw 28 million consoles shipped. So supply chain issues, of course, Also, the invasion of Ukraine. All of these are factors. It's reported that if lockdowns continue, sales can drop below an expected 20 million units for Nintendo. So don't be so upset. Trent, I know you're upset. If you're interested in buying the Nintendo Switch soon, don't panic.
Yeah, I'm angry
okay?
right now.
No. Don't panic, Trent. Don't panic, all right? I need you to calm down. You know, get a
I
hold,
am calm. I am calm,
get
sir.
a hold of yourself, okay?
You need to get a hold of yourself.
That's true. Let me calm down. Breathe. Breathe. Okay, I'm good. I think I can continue here. I'm a little upset, but you shouldn't panic. You're unlikely to see the kinds.
Don't get so upset that you slam your hand against a wall. That's something you don't want to do.
Now I have an odd sensation to slam my head against my head. Yeah, let me bang my head against the wall right now. That would be now. That's entertaining. That's an entertaining podcast. It says here, you're unlikely to see the kinds of shortages that you saw with PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. So it's not good news for Nintendo, but if you're patient, you should be able to pick up a Nintendo Switch. You're not going to run into, like with PS5, Trent, and the new Xbox. Those are impossible to get. Basically, you got to win lottos. You got to do a bunch of bullshit.
What is your favorite game platform? Do you like the PS5?
Yeah, I'm a PlayStation guy. PlayStation 5. I was lucky enough to get my hands on a PS5 here. So I'm a PlayStation guy. I do love Nintendo, but Nintendo's never going to be your primary gaming system. It's going to supplement what you do. I always have the Nintendo system just so I could play Zelda when it comes out. It's just a game that I've played every single version of it since I was a kid, and I've kept that tradition going. I love Zelda, so I'll always try to have the Nintendo system on my hands. But yeah, I'm more of a PlayStation guy. Speaking of video games, and there's a long story with that I can make short. Every gamer out there remembers the Xbox 360's Ring of Death. My Xbox died on me 3 or 4 times, had to keep sending it in, getting it repaired. They send it back, it broke. It really soured me toward the Microsoft product, the Xbox product. Switched to PlayStation 3 at the time, I think it was, and never went back. So originally I was an Xbox guy, but when it kept breaking, it just really turned me off, and I switched to PlayStation, and I never looked back.
Okay.
Speaking of video games to look at here in May, Citizen Sleeper is coming out for PS4, PS5, PC, Switch, everything, all platforms. Right. Role-playing game in the ruins of interplanetary capitalism. I already love this game. This is a good. What a great way to start. You want to sell a game. A role-playing game in the ruins of interplanetary capitalism. Live the life of an escaped worker washed up on a lawless station at the edge of an interstellar society. And this, you have to escape your past and change your future, blah, blah, blah. Sounds interesting. Role-playing game. Citizen Sleeper coming out this month. Dolmen is an action RPG, also coming out on all platforms. Supposed to be a hard game in the vein of the Soulsborne titles, but in this game you're fighting aliens with guns and melee weapons, exploring an open world. That game sounds pretty cool. I might check that out. But this, Trent, this is the game that I have to play. This is coming out on May 13th. Evil Dead the game. And everybody loves Evil Dead. I grew up on Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, and of course Evil Dead 3, which was actually titled Army of Darkness. The story of Ash. Step into the shoes of Ash Williams or his friends from the iconic Evil Dead franchise and work together in a game loaded with over-the-top co-op and player versus player multiplayer action. Play as a team of 4 survivors, exploring, looting, managing your fear, and finding key items to steal to seal the breach between worlds in a game inspired by all 3 original Evil Dead films, as well as the Starz original Ash vs. Evil Dead television series. I love Evil Dead. It's one of my favorite things ever. When I was a kid, I actually saw Army of Darkness first, which was the 3rd movie. And this is a movie that was directed by Sam Raimi, who actually, you know Sam Raimi. He's directed a lot of movies, including the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. Which, you know, he's been around for a long time, Sam Raimi, and of course, everybody knows who plays Ash, Bruce Campbell, who is hilarious and great, and you know, Evil Dead is one of my favorite things of all time. But when I was a kid, you know, the first 2 Evil Dead movies were in the 80s. I can't remember the year Army of Darkness came out. I think it was 91 or so. But Army of Darkness comes out, and it's actually a slapstick comedy. You know, it was just a funny movie. This guy Ash, you know, Bruce Campbell, goes back in time to medieval times, and he's like he's got a chainsaw for an arm and a shotgun, and he's battling this army of demons and stuff, and it was just hilarious. Come on, give me some sugar, baby. It's some of the best stuff ever. So I initially knew it as a comedy. You get a little older and you feel, what? Army of Darkness is the 3rd movie? And then you go back and the first Evil Dead is a straight up horror movie. You know, it's nothing like what Army of Darkness was. But then there's Evil Dead 2, which it's called Evil Dead 2, but it was really more of like a remake of the first movie. And what's so fascinating for me when you go from Evil Dead 1 to Evil Dead 2, it was kind of like Sam Raimi figured it out. It was like in the first movie, well, let's make a horror movie. But then in the second movie, you realize, wait a second, Bruce Campbell's a talent. This dude is a funny dude. And Evil Dead 2, you started to see some of the comedy, but at the same time, it was still a horror movie. For my money, Evil Dead 2 is the best horror movie of all time. It's just, but it's also, you know, you start to see who Bruce Campbell is in the role of Ash and how that led to Army of Darkness. Anyway, I'm talking too long about how much I love Evil Dead. But the video game comes out May 13th. And I'm just very excited, Trent. I want to tell the whole world. I want to climb to the top of a mountain and scream about how excited I am about the Evil Dead video game.
You just did.
Oh, I did. Thank you. It took a while to climb the top of the mountain, but hey, it's here I am. Yeah. You know what that music means? It means it's time for Super Radio Brother Sports. What a time in sports it's been, Trent.
You just sounded like a nerd just then.
Why? Wait, how did I sound like a nerd?
Sports.
I'm excited. Give me a break. Super Radio Sports. Get used to it. It's so
I'm
good.
used to it, buddy. I'm, hey, hey, there is a lot going on in sports. You hit the nail on the head.
You called me a nerd. I'm so upset. I'm a nerd in everything I love, Trent. You know,
that's fine.
It's true. I just nerded out on Evil Dead, and I'm about to nerd out on some sports. You do you, pal. But that's part of what makes this show good. You know. Oh yeah, because we're all interested in many different things. We all live in our own worlds. And I'm interested in a few things, not many things. Like 3 or 4 things. Okay. But anyway, I'm interested in the NBA playoffs right now. That's a great segue, by the way. Let's talk about baseball. No, I'm just kidding. Well, we will talk about the Yankees are first place in the middle of the league. Is that what I sound like? Is that your best Rich? Let me hear your Rich impression. Let me hear that. The New York Yankees are in first place, and we're gonna win the World Series, and okay. Do I really get that obnoxious? Because I feel like I'm more negative. Oh, it's bad. Oh, okay.
But anyway, the NBA playoffs are happening right now. I want to talk about the Boston Celtics right now.
All right.
And the reason I want to talk about them is because they looked absolutely horrific in Game 1. They looked like they shouldn't even be on the same court as the Milwaukee Bucks. Okay, 23 turnovers. You had double-digit assists for Milwaukee. You had Giannis, who had a nice game. And then, of course, for Boston, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum didn't show up. I mean, they showed up at the end of the game. They kind of got some garbage time points, and Brown kind of bumped up his numbers a little bit. But, Rich, the Boston Celtics were not in this game at all, basically from start to finish. You looked at Milwaukee, they were like, okay, let's go out and do our game. Whenever you play a team like Milwaukee's a significantly better team than the Brooklyn Nets are, if you want my honest opinion, okay? And, I know the Brooklyn Nets were expected to really do well. They were expected to make it back to the NBA Finals, but they were 4 and out. Is what they call it, and got swept 4-0 by a Boston Celtics team that has been playing well down the stretch. But the coaching staff for the Celtics really got their players together, and I assume, obviously I wasn't in the locker room. I wish I had a crystal ball where I could kind of peek into the locker room and listen to what the Boston coaches were telling their players, but I'm sure they weren't very happy at all. And they said, this was an embarrassing loss in front of our home fans. So you know what they did on Tuesday night, Rich?
Yeah.
They returned the favor.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
they returned the favor.
They had a huge game Tuesday night to even up the series at a game apiece. I think you bring up the Brooklyn Nets, and one thing that first game showed you was kind of where the Brooklyn Nets are at right now. I mean, no semblance of a team there. Just got destroyed by the Boston Celtics, and this is a Brooklyn Nets team last year, if you remember, that took the Milwaukee Bucks to the brink. 7-game series. Durant's toe on the line, 2 instead of 3 is the difference in the series. So the Nets were really close to beating Milwaukee last year. So just that first game, that's one of the things I thought about there as the Bucks were just destroying Boston in Boston in that Game 1. Now, hey, you can look at Game 2 a couple of different ways. If you're the Milwaukee Bucks, you're the NBA champions, and maybe you want to get greedy there and you want to win 2 games. But let's not forget, the Celtics are the higher seed here. That's why they got these first 2 games at home. So traditionally, if you're an NBA team on the road for the first 2 games, all you want to do is get that 1 game, and that's what the Bucks did here. Second thing I look at when I look at this series so far, and specifically at Game 2 there, the shots the Celtics were hitting were not easy shots. It's not like I didn't watch that game, and it was a blowout, but I still saw Milwaukee really contesting shots, a lot of effort on defense. I didn't really give up a lot of points in this game by today's NBA standards. 109 points to the Celtics. They only scored 86. That was the problem. But the big number here is the Celtics, they hit 23 pointers in this game, 20 of 43, 46% from downtown. Milwaukee Bucks only hit 3 3-pointers the entire game. So are the Celtics?
Will they be to the 3 shots? You look at Jaylen Brown. That was like 6 3-point shots. That was a playoff career high for him alone.
After he was awful in the first game. So that was a good bounce back from him. But will the Celtics be able to shoot like that in Milwaukee? Will they be able to hit from 3 at close to a 50% clip while also hoisting close to 50 shots from downtown? I don't think so. So I still think this is a series that the Bucks will win. I'll give the Celtics 2 games in this series, but I think the Celtics win in 6.
You said the Bucks.
It's the Bucks. I think. Excuse me. I think Milwaukee will win in 6 games. I just think they're too good for the Celtics, even without Middleton. I think Giannis is a force. He still had 28 points in that, almost a triple-double. He's going to come back at home, and you're going to get those role players playing a little bit better. You're going to get more than 2 points from Brook Lopez in Milwaukee. We saw how big he played in that first game. I think Drew Holiday, even though he had a decent game in the second game, I think he's going to put up bigger numbers. So I don't. It's hard for me to look at this because I saw a lot of people saying, actually picking the Celtics now, thinking that they're going to win this series off that performance. But I can't go that far. I think it's great that they won Game 2, and it gives us something to watch because there are a couple of series right now that unfortunately have taken a rough turn that aren't very interesting. And one of those series, definitely the 76ers and the Heat, because of the injury to Embiid. And
yes,
that is just went from an intriguing series to just so uninteresting. I just don't. There's no way the Sixers are going to compete in this series. It's just not happening. The Heat are a darn good team. They were the number 1 seed. And with no Embiid, they're going to, and especially with Harden, a shell of his former self. I mean, you're talking about a guy that used to average over 30 points a game in the playoffs, just put up huge numbers. I mean, if you saw Harden in a playoff game drop 40 points, you wouldn't blink an eye. Right now, you will. He had 20 points in Game 2 there. I think it was 16 in the first game. Just really not giving you anything near the MVP level Houston Rocket James Harden that if you're the 76ers, you need right now without Embiid playing. So that's a series I look at that's become uninteresting. And yeah, I was pretty wrong about the Suns Mavericks. I thought the Mavericks were going to give Phoenix a hard time. And that first game was a pretty good game. Mavericks only lose by 7 points in Phoenix. And let's not forget, Phoenix Suns number 1 seed in all of basketball, 8 games better than the next closest team. Phoenix was a great team this past year, and they're proving it right now because Mavericks are no slouches. They do lack another superstar to supplement the greatness of Luka Doncic, and him scoring 30 points a game without any help just isn't going to do it against a team like Phoenix. And the way Chris Paul just dominated the fourth quarter of that game against the Mavericks, and also what Devin Booker did in that game, for that matter, just putting the whole league on notice and reminding guys. And again, this is a game. They outscored Phoenix outscored Dallas 40-26 in that fourth quarter, and it felt like it wasn't even that close. I mean, and it was really impressive to watch Phoenix do what they do to get a sense of why they were so good this year. Because I don't watch a ton of Phoenix Suns games, but the way you had Devin Booker, and this was a game at halftime, but the way Devin Booker came out in the third quarter and dominated, and then you saw Chris Paul come out in the fourth quarter and do the same. It was impressive to see those two guys do what they did. Chris Paul with 28, 8, and 6, and Devin Booker dropping 30. But this was Chris Paul's game. He dominated that fourth quarter, and he just reminded everybody why everybody's calling him right now the point god, right? He looked amazing in that game. And the problem with the Mavericks right now is you're getting nothing from the guys who really did a great job in that first series. I mean, Jalen Brunson was averaging 30 points a game in that first series against the Utah Jazz. He scored 9 points in Game 2. That's just not going to get it done. Spencer Dinwiddie was huge in that first series. He scored 11 points in Game 2. Luka scored 35, but if those guys are giving you that, if the second guy closest to Luka has 16 points and that's Reggie Bullock, that's just not going to get the job done against a team that won 64 games in the regular season. So I'm disappointed in that series. I think Dallas will play better in Dallas. That's just the way the NBA works. Role players play much better at home, especially in the playoffs. And as Pat Riley famously said, playoff series doesn't really begin until a home team has lost a game. So I think you'll get a better effort from the Dallas Mavericks in Game 3. But I do have to be honest here. Phoenix just looks like far and away the better team right now. And if you're Dallas, you got to really start thinking about how you can get another all-star level player on that team to hook up with Luka to at least give him a shot, because let's face it, I mean, the West is loaded. Look what's going on out there, and Luka's part of that. The Mavericks had the 4th seed this year, but you got Ja Morant with the Grizzlies, you got the Warriors, they still got a couple more years left. You got MVP and Jokic with Denver. You've got Karl Anthony Towns and the Minnesota Timberwolves seemingly getting better every single year. You got C.J. McCollum and Zion Williamson probably coming back for so the West is just the West is loaded. And if you're the Mavericks and you got a player like Luka, you got a shot. You got to really start thinking about figuring out a way where you can get another all-star level player on that team to give them a shot against what is a very talented Western Conference. And that's how good the league is right now, because you look at the East is pretty darn talented as well.
Oh yeah, the East is so many great things happening in the NBA playoffs, and I think the Phoenix Suns, there is something special with that team, and you've seen it both on and off the court. So congratulations to them. Of course, the Celtics still got some work to do. I agree with you, and of course the Miami Heat are looking good in their series, like you said. The injury to Joel Embiid is significant for the Philadelphia 76ers. I truly believe, and Philadelphia's got some big shoes to fill if they want to win this series and even have a shot, in my opinion. But Miami did what a home team's supposed to do: take both games in the series. They didn't allow a split. So anyway, lots of great NBA happening. Let's move forward to baseball, and might as well go ahead and get it over with. Let's let Rich kind of gloat about his New York Yankees for a second. He just gloated about the NBA playoffs, but let's hear him gloat about the New York Yankees, who still got a very, 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 very long way to go. But they're in first place right now in the American League East. So what's going on with your Yankees?
Oh yeah, it's I think the number was one number was the Yankees haven't been in first place at this point in the season in sole possession, which you think about it, even this kind of shock, since 2019. So it just kind of shows. There have been issues with this team over the years, and they get hot during the season, and it's not like we've never seen a winning streak before. And I'll start there. The winning streak was ended this past week at 11 games in Toronto. But I did say, and there's a video out there, Super Radio Brother highlights. Do the Yankees have something special brewing in the Bronx? And that was going into the Blue Jays series. The Yankees had won 9 in a row, and what I had said at that point was, well, you beat some teams here that you're expected to beat, which is good. You're never going to that's how you win divisions. That's how you get to the playoffs. You beat the teams you're supposed to beat. But here you go. You won 9 straight games against teams that you're expected to defeat. Not necessarily sweep every series. That's what they did there, 3 straight sweeps. That impresses me because they didn't sweep anybody last year. But going into the Toronto series, I said, look, not only are you facing a better team here, a team that's a lot of people picking to win the division, but you're also facing them with the bottom of the rotation here. You're not going to get any Cole. You're not going to get Severino. So let's see the Yankees go out there, with Jameson Taillon and some of these other pitchers, and let's see them get out there with the bottom of the rotation. And actually, Nestor Cortez did start the third game, which was a surprise. I didn't think they were going to start him in that game, but they did, and that just happens to be the game that they lost. But let's see them go out there and sweep the Blue Jays, or take 2 out of 3 from the Blue Jays in Toronto, and then you start to feel good about yourself. And that's what the Yankees did. They went out there, took on a darn good team, took the first 2 games of the series. Couldn't win the third game, but look, you can't complain about that. This is baseball. You took 2 out of 3. You won the series. You move on. You're still in first place, 2.5 games ahead of the Blue Jays. I think it's 3 over the Tampa Bay Rays right now, and the best record in baseball. But this is a very interesting point in the season right now. If you're the Yankees, you're 18-7. Just had your 11-game winning streak ended. I think we're going to learn a lot about this team right now, because if you remember, late July, I think it was last year, Yankees ripped off 12 games in a row. It went on that streak, got us all excited. Maybe they're making a move here. Maybe they're actually going to challenge Tampa for the division here. They went on that run. I think they got to within 6 or 5 games of the Rays when they went on that 12-game winning streak. And if you remember, it was like the Rays were winning every game as well. But the Yankees win 12 games in a row late July last year. What did they do after that 12-game winning streak? They lost 11 of 13. So, and then you're right back where you started, and you barely make that wild card game. So this is key for the Yankees. First of all, don't go and lose 11 of 13 now. Don't do that, right? And the other interesting thing here is the first game against the Texas Rangers Friday night. We're doing the show on Cinco de Mayo, by the way. Happy Cinco de Mayo. But Friday night.
Oh, it took you this long to mention it.
Yeah, that's true. I should have. I forgot, Trent. I forgot. How
can you forget?
That's true. Especially when I'm enjoying a cerveza right at this very moment in celebration of Cinco de Mayo and the 300th episode of the Super Radio Brothers. But the other interesting thing is Friday night, Yankees play the Rangers. First game after their streak is snapped. Who's on the mound? Garrett Cole. Guess what? Go out there, be the $300 million pitcher you are, and shut the Rangers down and start a new winning streak. That's what you're here for. Don't let a losing streak start now, even if it's just 2 games. Garrett Cole is on the mound. That means the Yankees are supposed to win, especially after their 11-game winning streak was just snapped, especially when you're playing a shitty team like the Texas Rangers. You're Garrett Cole. Go out there Friday night, get it done, get a new winning streak started, keep the Yankees in first place. But, hey, if you're a Yankee fan right now, best record in baseball in a tough division, you got to be pretty happy about what you're seeing. You got to love what you're seeing out of an Aaron Judge who's just been knocking the cover off of the baseball. Going into the final game against Toronto, he had 5 home runs in his last 5 games, 7 in his last 8. He's right up there with Rizzo for the most home runs in baseball. Oh, and he's also hitting close to 300 and not playing a stellar right field, playing a stellar center field at times. I mean, Judge is just, what an incredible ball player he is. And you think he made a mistake not signing a contract before the season started? Give me a break. This guy's getting paid. It may not be the Yankees that are going to pay him, but the dude's going to get his money, what he wants when the season's over.
P-A-I-D, paid.
So, but he's playing MVP level baseball right now, and we'll see if he can keep that up, stay healthy. Of course, that all factors in, but man, the offense is clicking, and 1 through 14, the entire pitching staff, you can't argue it. Yankees have the best pitching in baseball right now, especially when you're talking about the bullpen.
Down a little bit before they play Tampa.
Well, Tampa's in 3rd place. I'm not thinking about them much right now, Trent.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Hey, but speaking of Tampa, I gotta talk about my Rays here real quick.
Yes.
Tampa Bay did sweep the Oakland Athletics, who they struggled mightily with last year. I cannot remember the last time they won a series at the Oakland Coliseum. Nevertheless, sweep a series, but they brought out the brooms. They got lucky on Tuesday night, I will say. They had a lead, and then of course the Oakland ended up tying they were down some runs, and Tampa ended up tying it, and then they went into extra innings and scored 3 in the 10th, or 5 in the 10th, rather, to make it 10-5. And then Oakland came in the bottom of the 10th to make it a 10-7 ball game, but they couldn't really do anything there. And of course, Corey Kluber was terrific on Wednesday night. He had another good start. He's had back-to-back solid starts now. More than quality starts. Of course, he did well against the Minnesota Twins in the first game of that series, which, by the way, that was the only game they won of that particular series because of some injuries and because of some other stuff, offense not being able to hit. Seems like toward the end of homestands at Tropicana Field, they kind of forget that they're supposed to hit the ball in order to win. They didn't do that, but Tampa's okay right now. I mean, they're 15-10 as we are recording this on Thursday night. They're currently playing Seattle, and at last check, it was 0-0 going into the bottom of the 3rd. Our ace, our opening day starter, Shane McClanahan, is on the mound for the Rays as we speak. So if the Rays just keep winning series, I preach this every week, but it's so true. If you keep winning series, you got to look at it from a macro perspective. If you win 2 out of 3 games, you're going to win 90 games or more, and you're going to make the postseason. Or 3 out of 4 games if you take it. Of course, it leaves you some room for some splits, and yeah, you're going to lose series sometimes in Major League Baseball. Just ask the New York Yankees; they could not beat Baltimore. They lost several series to Baltimore last year. Yeah, so but the ultimate goal is, from a micro perspective, 3, 4, 5 game losing streaks are difficult, but you have to look at it from a big picture if you're a baseball fan, because it is not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. So overall, otherwise, dealing with some other injury stuff, the Rays are doing okay and they're in good shape.
Yeah. Hey, like you said, it's early. You're Rays 3 games out of first place. You just want to, like you said, win series right now. That's and then when you play the teams that you're competing with, win those games, right? That's the name of the game. That's how you win a division. That's how you give yourself a chance when the real show begins in October. Right? You know about that. Rays have played some October baseball recent years.
Yeah, they sure have, but they looked pitiful in their October baseball last year.
Well, that was a rough series.
It was a rough series against the dreaded Red Sox. That's
you don't want to
sure.
lose those, but it's baseball. So, but that's the biggest thing. That's what hurts, is that you just never know when you're going to get back there. So if you're a team. And look, I've seen the Yankees get knocked out early in the playoffs, winning 103 games, whatever it is. Rays won 100 games last year. Did they get swept in that series against the Red Sox?
No, I think they won 1 game.
So it's just rough to lose that early when you had a great season. But you also, if you were watching it last year, you had 4 teams in the division that were so evenly matched, and you had the Rays that just dominated the Baltimore Orioles. They won 18 of 19 games, so they won the division. They put themselves in a great position. They just, the Red Sox were hotter than them. They were coming off the high, beating the Yankees in the wild card game, and they had momentum. They had 2 evenly matched teams there, but Red Sox had momentum, and luckily we had Houston standing in the way there. So I'm just happy. Hey, it was the best of both worlds for me. I got to see the Rays get knocked out and then the Red Sox get knocked out. So after everybody saw the Yankees get knocked out, but hey, we all got what we wanted.
Yeah, down goes the entire American League.
Yeah, everybody got knocked out. So.
That's awesome. Well, in terms of the sports, that's pretty much it. Oh, I do have to mention one more thing. The Tampa Bay Lightning are in a deadlock series right now with the Toronto Maple Leafs out of all teams, and a team that both teams have had their feuds this season. Tampa Bay beat them on the late April by a score of 8-1. That was a dime. If you beat somebody 8-1 in hockey, your goalie must be really, really bad. The team that gave up 8 goals. Yeah. And Toronto's goalie had a tough night that night. And of course, Tampa lost to Toronto 6-2 the first meeting they played. But they ended up losing 5-0 in Game 1, and everybody was going, "Oh my God, the sky is falling. What's going on with the Tampa Bay Lightning? You have to be kidding me. What is this team? Why has this team even made the playoff?" So many overreactions. You're going to lose a playoff game from time to time, okay, fans? Get a grip. That's why you're there and the Tampa Bay Lightning are over there, okay? That's exactly why. So you need to get a grip. These fans who are talking, "Oh, this game's falling," and it's not just like that too, by the way.
Oh, is that me? Am I complaining about the It sounded like you were doing me.
No, I wasn't talking about you for once.
Oh, I thought it was me complaining about the Lightning. It was pretty good.
I know. Thanks. So and then on Wednesday, the Lightning ended up coming back to win. They beat them. They won, I think it was 5-3. That third period got interesting because Toronto cut it within 2, but thanks to some penalties, and Tampa Bay's power play was really good back on Wednesday night. So you just have to give the Lightning are going to be okay, and there's a reason that they've won back-to-back Stanley Cup championships, and if they can continue to win, if they get past the Toronto, I think Tampa Bay could ultimately win this series. I think the trajectory of the series is going to change when, of course, we're recording this show like we talked about on Cinco de Mayo. We're going to play tomorrow night at Amalie Arena 7:30, a little Friday night hockey doesn't sound bad to me. And then, of course, Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening at 7 for games 3 and 4 in Tampa. So if you can win, I would love for them to win them both, to go up 3-1. But even if you're 2-2 going into back to Toronto, I think you're okay, because I think the Lightning can win this series in 5. It wouldn't be 5 games because you got to win 4. I think they can win it at 6 at the most. All
right. Well, they're champions. They got a shot. I can't watch regular season hockey, but I do get somewhat into it in the postseason, especially if the Rangers are involved. So I have seen the first 2 Ranger games this postseason against the Penguins, and that was an incredible first game, triple overtime. Ranger goalie had close to 80 saves, which was ridiculous. I mean, can anybody play defense out on the ice? But it was pretty exciting, triple overtime, and you lose. And Rangers did come back tonight and win the second game. So like all NHL series, it'll probably go 7 games. I wouldn't be shocked. It seems like every single NHL playoff series goes 7 games, or at least the majority of them. So that's what I expect. But apparently the Rangers had a good regular season this year, so maybe there's hope. I know nothing about it, but I will. I'm glad
you admit it.
Oh yeah, I mean, but I'm not the only one. Nobody cares about hockey, Trent. But playoffs, I can somewhat pay attention to it and enjoy it. But I'm like most of America, where we could basically care less.
Oh, okay.
It's true, Trent. Nobody cares about hockey. I mean,
well, that's it for the sports.
No more sports. Let's talk golf. But so speaking of something I don't care about.
Yeah, I want to go to sleep.
It's time to sit down and unwind and listen to the Couch Report.
Oh.
This is a perfect time for the Couch Report, because if you would have talked golf, I would have gone and sat on my couch and probably have fallen asleep.
You see, there's always something we don't care about. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay if I don't like hockey.
Wow.
What? I'm excited about not liking hockey.
Okay, well, it's exciting about not liking you either.
Oh,
so sure. Oh, no.
I know some people probably are, but that's all right. Haters gonna hate, yo.
Well, what does Taylor Swift say? Shake it off.
Oh yeah, no doubt. She also says, I don't know what else she says. I can't think of something right now.
Oh man, there's so many Taylor Swift songs out there. Oh, there is a Taylor Swift song called "You Need to Calm Down." It's a legit song.
Oh.
It came out in 2020. I'm not telling you to calm down. It's actually a song. It's called, quote, "You Need to Calm Down."
Oh,
unquote.
Taylor, maybe that should be our new intro for the show.
No, I think we can do a lot better than that.
All right, he's not a Taylor Swift guy. Okay, we're finding so many things that we don't like.
I'm not a huge Taylor Swift. I mean, I respect her creativity. I respect her innovativeness, but me personally, I'm not a fan.
I think inwardly you're a big Taylor Swift fan, but you just don't want to admit it.
Right.
Yeah. I think you could sing like her songs, and maybe when you were younger you had a poster. So,
no, actually that is incorrect.
No.
But
I'm not nailing it. I thought I was all over this.
No, that is unfortunately inaccurate, but nice try. I give you credit. It's the old college try, Rich. That's what this game is.
It's kind of like, it's just, I'm reaching. I'm trying to find something. I'm trying to find something. All right.
Reaching.
Couch Report. What's been going on with my main man, Trent?
Well, this is the last show.
What? Wait a second. This is it's only the 300th, Trent. What do you mean the last show? I thought we were going to do more shows together. What are you talking about?
Wait. Yeah.
We're going to make me cry. I'm upset.
I know. We're going to do more shows together. But the thing is, this is the last show prior to me becoming a college graduate. So this is very monumental.
Oh,
and I know
my goodness.
I decided to pause right after I said this is the last show because I wanted to see what your reaction was. And once again, I was not disappointed. It was priceless.
I thought you were really upset about me hating on hockey. I was going to apologize and
nothing anymore. Nothing that you do upsets me anymore, Rich. I'm not even surprised.
It would have been that's a great start to the Couch Report. Well, I have to announce this is my last show Because Rich is an a-hole and he hates hockey. Bye.
I mean, you said it, but I do not plan on going anywhere at this time. So please, if you heard that, don't spread the rumors on social media because it's a rumor, and I don't want to play damage control.
Don't make me worried. You gotta be careful with what you say. People jump on that stuff, Trent.
Well, there's a song by Bobby McFerrin. It's called "Don't Worry, Be Happy." I think isn't that his name, Bobby McFerrin, or something?
I don't
like
remember.
That?
Is that the dude's name that sings "Don't Worry, Be Happy"?
Yeah, something.
I know the song.
Yeah.
It's either that or Bob Marley. One of the two sang that.
Two totally different people.
What?
No. But I get you.
I think they sing this song.
So the couch report, man. This is the last show prior to me walking across that stage. I'll be graduating from South Florida State College this Tuesday afternoon on the day of May 10th at 4:30 p.m. I'll be walking across the stage just at the Wildstein Center for the Performing Arts. That's what they call it. And just looking forward to finally receiving that diploma, man. This has been a long time coming. I've been working and taking classes while I'm working, but I'm seeing the long-term effects of sacrifices I had to make whenever I was working full-time. I didn't get a chance to enjoy all the sporting events that I wanted because I had to stay up late and write a research paper because I've been juggling or whatever the case may be.
Wait a second, you can juggle?
Yeah, I can juggle.
That's amazing. I can't even do that.
Just picking them up and keep throwing them up and catching them and make sure they don't hit the ground.
You make it sound easier than it actually is.
That's what life's all about, making it easier than it actually sounds. That's what most people do.
Did you just make that up just now? Because you should have a book of Trent quotes. That was so cerebral.
Okay, I just made it off on the way. I don't even remember what I said anymore.
Neither do I, but I know it was good. We'll go back and I'm going to write it down. I'm going to go back and...
Yeah, write it down. Yeah. Okay. So I am graduating. It is a fun time. The baseball team I've been announcing for, they lost Thursday night, being tonight. They lost 6-0 to a team called Lakeland Christian. Now, I was doing some research here a few minutes ago, and I found out that it looks like for the most part their season's over, but there is a slim chance that because they won district runner-up, they might be able to have a slot in regionals. Now, will they have a home game? Probably not. So we'll just see. This could have been my last home game. It's not confirmed, but it's looking like a 80% yes, this is my last home game that I did, and 20% no, that it's not the last game that I'll be doing this year. So I enjoy the Avon Park Red Devils. I've enjoyed announcing for them, and it was fun doing my first year of PA, and hope to do it again soon. I love announcing the PA. I love the PA announcing at baseball games because it really, people think the fans are pumped up. Well, the PA announcer's pumped up too, and you have to feed your energy to the crowd to make sure that they can feed off my energy. And that's how I look at it. And it was a fun season this year. Really enjoyed myself, and look forward to do it again next year. And what else is on my counter report? Graduation, of course. This will be the last show talking about that because on Tuesday it will have come and gone, and I need to celebrate it though. So you got to celebrate the graduation.
Celebrate.
Celebrate.
Celebrate. You know that song, Trent?
I could have lived without that.
Celebrate. I love that.
I got a friend. I do have to give a shout out to a friend of mine who's she will be remain nameless, but she actually lives up there in Pennsylvania, and she listens to this show every week. And really listens to it. Make sure that she listens. She listens to every single second of it. She doesn't miss a single minute of the Super Radio Brothers. That's I don't know how she does it. That's very cool.
Wait, what are you saying? It's compelling, that's incredible radio. It's just a fascinating podcast. You shouldn't be. How does she do it? It's clearly incredibly entertaining, Trent.
Well, Rich, she listens while she takes walks. So she's walking and laughing, and people are probably looking at her going, what is this person laughing at? But yeah, no, she's a very nice lady. I've talked to her for a little bit. What's that?
Does she like Madonna? Celebrate.
I don't know. She probably does. I haven't had that conversation with her yet.
You should make that your graduation song. Will you promise me one thing?
What?
That when you go up to get your diploma, that they play "Celebrate" by Madonna.
Yeah, can you arrange that for me?
I just try to make this happen. It's very important.
Can you make a couple calls and because they may not listen to me.
No,
they might listen to you.
They will listen to me.
Yeah, they will.
Do you know who I am? Do you know who this is?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And then I'd have to lie like, this is Steven Spielberg, and Trent is my friend. Play Celebrate. You know. I'm Steven Spielberg. I directed Jurassic Park. Okay?
I'm sure you did.
Trent is my friend. Play his favorite song, Celebrate by Madonna, or I'm going to be very upset and you won't be able to go see my next movie.
Oh, man, that's a threat right there.
I'm Steven Spielberg.
But anyway, to finish up my story about my friend, I'm actually going to be able to. She's coming down. She's never been to Florida, but we've known each other for a little bit of time, and she is coming to see my last band performance of the season. She's flying down. She and her dad, who is a nice guy. He is a delivery driver. He is retired, but he's a nice guy, and he's a big sports fan too. So I'll be able to talk sports with him. And I'm going to play a little tour guide on Saturday. There, Rich, going to take him around the town and kind of show him kind of the ins and outs of where I live, my strategic location, and then they're going to come watch the show, and then they're going to fly back home on Sunday. And this kind of just was arranged kind of a day or so before, but it's pretty neat, man. Somebody flying down to see me and meet for the first time, and we've been talking for a little while, and really looking forward to that.
So that's exciting. Nice. Exciting times for Trent Ferguson. That's cool, man.
Yeah, I got a friend of mine coming in from out of town, and other than that, that's pretty much it. After graduation, things are gonna start kind of slowing down, so it'll be a normal schedule. So I need to prepare to really get to know my couch.
Oh man, exciting times! Graduation, friends coming to see you. I would say my times have been slightly more exciting than yours.
No! What can be more exciting than friends coming to see you?
Mainly, I think I'm very close to winning an NBA championship in 2K22.
Oh, your video game?
Yeah. So just so you know, things are very exciting for me too. Oh, and guess what, Trent? I'm about to win the World Series. So.
And okay.
Yeah, I'm about to win a World Series.
So how are you going to celebrate that?
How do you think? Be like, Alexa, play Madonna, Celebrate, Celebrate, and I'll dance and stuff.
Can you put that video online for me?
Alexa, stop. She actually started playing the song. Oh no, maybe it's. Does she say holiday or celebrate? I'm probably singing the song. I don't even know what I'm singing, Trent, but I think it.
I don't know.
I think they celebrate, or is it a holiday? I don't know.
I knew you said her name so many times. I knew she would come on at some point.
Yeah, it was bound to happen. No, yeah, it's
you're listening to this show the entire time.
Congratulations, you got a lot of cool stuff going on. Well,
so let me ask you. So let me tell you something. Back on the Alexa. So what's going to happen is tomorrow you're going to look at your phone and you're going to search the internet and you're going to find ads and you're going to find the song on iTunes called "Celebrate" and it's just going to pop up because that's all you talked about during
I can't
Couch
wait.
Report.
Yeah.
It's going to remember that.
That's kind of annoying and intrusive. I don't like it.
Quite frankly, it's scary, dude.
Yeah, that's the world, Trent. That's today's
the
world. Yeah, that is the world.
We're going to be taken over by AIs.
Yeah. That would make me very happy, though. If I'm going to have an AI in my house, it has to have the ability to kill me. That's going to make things fun. I need that. I need conversation. I need that AI to be jealous and like I said before, we need Fatal Attraction level AI. You know what I mean? This has to happen.
Okay.
So would you like an AI that you can speak with and have conversation and just, I don't know, discuss the mysteries of the universe with? That would be pretty wacky. That would be cool.
Yeah, it would be, actually. As a matter of fact. That would be neat.
Yeah. So anyway, it's not like I'm saying something that only I want. A lot of people want AI like that. This to call Alexa or what's the other one, Siri, to call them AI is an insult to real AI.
And nowadays, if you say either one of their names, they're just going to come on your phone
and try to sell me something. You know? Unless you're buying something, I don't know what you're saying. And then I get upset. So
yeah. So what's going on in the world of Richard Carroll's Couch Report?
Well, aside from the multiple championships and multiple sports that I'm nearing victory in, no, in those games I only play online rated matches. I actually went on a 6-game winning streak on MLB The Show, which was pretty fun. So I've gotten better at that. I've lost some games.
Would you play the computer?
No, I only play people. I can't stand playing computers. I don't know what it is. It's uninteresting. It's boring to me. The game feels dead to me. If I play a sports game,
you can memorize all their patterns, and it's too predictable that it's boring, kind of.
And I used to, obviously when I was a kid, play the computer because that was the only option. But ever since the online era of gaming, I only ever play, if I play any sports game, I never play the computer. I immediately go to online matches, which is why, I didn't even practice when I got MLB The Show, and I maybe lost like my first 8 online games. Because first of all, I haven't played a baseball video game in multiple years. It's been 2 or 3 years. So I got MLB The Show 2022, and I just can't, even not playing for that long, I still can't bring myself to play the computer. I keep getting my ass kicked by people online, but then, you have the patience. I got good enough to win 6 straight games, and now I feel like I'm pretty good. I'm not going to win every game, but I compete. I think the key in online gaming with MLB The Show is just patience, and it becomes a lot like real baseball, a guessing game of early in the game. My strategy is, as a hitter, my approach at the plate is I'm going to take the first pitch the majority of the time. Regardless, I'm taking the first pitch. And eventually, by the 4th or 5th inning, the other guy, he gets confident that I'm going to take the first pitch. And he's just laying strikes in there. And I start swinging at the first pitch. And I'll get home runs. But I lull them into a false sense of security that I'm never going to swing at the first pitch. I try to establish that in the first 3 innings. And then, but like I said, by the 4th, 5th, I start swinging at the first pitch and I score some runs. Pitching, I'm just pretty good as far as knowing what I want to throw and mixing it up and doing that. So the show is pretty awesome. It's a great baseball simulation. I've been playing the basketball as well. As far as video games, that's really mainly what it's been lately. Haven't had a lot of time to game. I did see a couple of movies this past week, including speaking of video games, the movie Uncharted, which is based on one of the great games of all time. Everyone who's a gamer loves Uncharted. I played every single Uncharted game. It's really, Trent, Uncharted is a game that gives you great action, but does an incredible job of making it like a movie. It's more of a cinematic experience, but it's also great video gaming. There's a lot of great action. So, and by making it a cinematic experience, I'm not just talking about cutscenes. I'm talking about in-game play. Like I might be climbing something, and it's starting to break, and all these cinematic things start happening while I'm playing. I forget which Uncharted game it was. It might have been the 3rd one, but there was one Uncharted game where, and basically Uncharted is like Indiana Jones. You're always going on this adventure, trying to find some ancient tomb or something, and all this bullshit's happening. Anyway, and you're Nathan Drake, and you climb mountains, climb all sorts of stuff, shoot people, the whole thing. It's great. But there was one, I think it was the 3rd Uncharted, where the theme of the game was you were always escaping something crazy, like you're escaping a sinking ship, you're escaping a burning mansion, you're escaping a plane that's crashing. There was always this crazy scenario in the game, and the movie kind of plays off of that a little bit. However, I don't think there's any way this movie could have been any worse. I mean, it was pretty terrible. I would have expected it to have more of the action, the type of action that you'd expect in an Uncharted game. Thought Nathan Drake could have had more action sequences where he was shooting at people or climbing incredible heights, So I don't know. It was just extremely disappointing. The end was the most ridiculous, dumb. Even the games didn't have something so dumb. It was bad. Of course, Nathan Drake was casted. They put what's his name? The guy who plays Tom Holland, who plays Spider-Man now in the MCU. He got the role of Nathan Drake. Mark Wahlberg plays Drake's right-hand man, Sully. Obviously a decent cast. Although with Tom Holland, I would never have seen him as Nathan Drake. I think that's a bad casting move by the studio. Even Antonio Banderas is in this movie. So decent cast, just horrible, dumb script, and I just felt like the action didn't live up to the game itself. So I was pretty extremely disappointed by that. Haven't seen I don't know if I talked about it last week, but I did get out to the movies to see Secrets of Dumbledore, Fantastic Beasts, the third installment of that franchise, which quite simply is what the title says, The Secrets of Dumbledore, right? Big time character in the Harry Potter story. And
do you like Dumbledore?
Oh yeah, sure. Dumbledore is a great character. I'm more of a Slytherin guy myself, but hey.
How about Hufflepuff?
No, I'm not a big Hufflepuff guy. No, not at all. It's those guys. I'm Team Slytherin all the way. But
Slytherin, yeah.
Professor Snape's my dude. That's my dude.
That's awesome.
But Secrets of Dumbledore was pretty cool. I don't think it was as good as the first Fantastic Beasts movie, but it was pretty fun. It was cool to get out to the movies and check that out. I think the biggest thing on my couch report is what I haven't seen yet and what I'm so excited for this weekend, which and I should mention too, Ozark came out the final half of the final season here, final 7 episodes. Saw the first 2 or 3. So I'm trying to take my time with it because, again, I think Ozark's one of the great shows of all time. And, man, it is straight fire. I'm loving the final season. And that's part of what makes it one of the great shows of all time. It just has never slowed down, never stopped being good. Just extremely good, great fun. Oh, I should mention, too, before I mention what's coming up, is Winning Time. 1 episode left. The series following the Los Angeles Lakers dynasty. Magic Johnson's rookie season, owner Jerry Buss, his first season owning the team, just all of the amazing things about what that year was and how Buss was basically going to go bankrupt. He was going to lose the team if they don't win a championship. Like literally nothing less than a championship would be disastrous. So everything about that show, to see Pat Riley and his story from, Pat Riley is considered one of the great basketball geniuses of all time. Of course, eventually becomes the head coach of the Lakers, becomes head coach of the New York Knicks during, in my lifetime, what was the golden age of New York Knicks basketball. And, of course, Riley eventually goes on as an executive to win championships with the Miami Heat. But just to see, his early life there with the Lakers and how he went from just knowing he wanted to be in basketball, but just not knowing what capacity that was and trying to get into the realm of broadcasting first and how that led to coaching, all things like that, just to make this show extremely fascinating for a sports fan. So love Winning Time, HBO Max, final episode coming out this weekend. And yeah, what does this a weekend have in store? Well, first of all, I haven't seen the final episode of Moon Knight yet. So I'll watch that eventually here. I'm very even though I feel like the series has sucked so far. If you're following my videos on social media, you know that. But I'm still excited to see how it ends for the 6th and final episode. Strange New Worlds, the new Star Trek series, is streaming now I haven't seen the first episode yet, but I am super excited to sit back and watch Strange New Worlds, a show about the USS Enterprise 10 years before the first season of Star Trek. So I am super pumped up to get some USS Enterprise action for the first time in a very long. It's just different when it's the Enterprise, Trent, and you're a Star Trek fan. Speaking of nerd, but I'm very excited about seeing Star Trek: Strange New Worlds this weekend, and of course, I already got my tickets. Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness tomorrow, Friday. I will be there, ready for my nerd head to explode. And that
is it a night movie?
Yeah, we can go check it out. 7:00 in the evening. Probably grab some dinner out before we go see the movie.
Cool.
But, very excited about that. So those are the top 3 things. I mean, and not to mention the final episode of Winning Time, which I'm pretty excited about. So this weekend, Trent, I got first place New York Yankee baseball to watch. I've got NBA playoffs to watch. Hey, I'm even watching some NHL playoff hockey with the Rangers. I'm enjoying that right now.
That is something to cheer about.
Yeah, and then I've got Winning Time. I can't wait for the final episode of that. Moon Knight episode 6, the premiere of Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, and Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness. What a weekend I am looking forward to here. I can't wait, and it gets started soon.
That's great, man. Enjoy it, and it's hard to believe we're already through another episode.
That was a fun episode, and that wasn't just any episode, Trent. That was number 300.
Absolutely. Well, let's cherish it, because let's do 300 more and make it 600.
That's what I'm talking about, bro. I can't wait for episode 600. I can't wait for episode 301. But right now, we're over with this one. Have a great weekend. In the words of Bob Dylan, time is an ocean, but it ends at the shore. The Super Radio Brothers have reached the shore. See ya!
See ya!